Molly Green.
And Darren Rudge.
Well, yes. Sometimes that's God's way of getting you to enjoy Gardener's World.
The Happy Garden.
Yay, here we are again. Darren Rudge.
Hello!
Right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Good evening.
Yeah.
And welcome to the first official Happy Garden podcast. I mean, I know we bagged the trailer, Darren, but this is the first one proper.
Yeah, we're on.
Are you excited?
It's only taken us an hour.
Well, yes. Now, is your phone on silent? You've been to the toilet and you've got a drink. Are you all ready?
I have something refreshing in the name of water.
Yeah, sure. We ought to say before we introduce ourselves and start properly that we are at home. I am in my spare room, which is where Darren was this time. I had him in my spare room. However, this time you're at your house.
Yes, I am. I'm in the living room, looking at the mantelpiece. Got the two dogs with me.
Oh, that's nice.
So, but it's really nice. It's hot though.
But we ought to just explain very quickly as well. You've got some sort of hooligan honing up and down on a probably a stolen motorbike up and down your road. You know, you may hear that, you may not.
It's very posh, my area.
I love you, Darren. Right, if you are just joining us, my name is Molly Green, well, what am I? I don't know. I press the buttons. I'm not quite sure how to introduce myself. Darren Rudge is I am an award winner. For several things. But Darren Rudge here is the Laughing Gardener, the award-winning horticulturist who will be taking calls, taking questions and giving loads and loads of garden advice, won't you, Daz?
Oh, yeah. Well, no question too small. No question too big, really.
Must have been.
Yeah.
We'll see. We must say thank you if you've downloaded our trailer, which, Darren, people have from all over the world.
We are international, Molly Green. International.
Really exciting. Yeah, I've been having a look at some of the analytics. Brussels, America, Cyprus, Mexico, Spain. Hola y gracias por escucharnos.
I'll have two of those.
And a side order of chips. Yeah.
And the USA.
Yeah. Dallas. We've got a couple of people listening in Dallas. So that's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what can we expect from today's Happy Garden podcast? What are you going to bring to the horticultural table, Darren?
Well, what I've planned for podcast number 1 are a money-saving tip. Yes. Which will save you money.
Should think so.
Swat or not, we're going to concentrate on the slug. And this is a feature, folks, that, we try to convince you not to swat. And then I've got 5 horticultural jokes of the week. And then perhaps we round things off with a few jobs.
But back to the jokes, are they good?
No, they are good. They're good. I've written them, so they are brilliant.
That's a lie. All right, we'll look forward to that a little bit later on. We're not a phone in yet because we haven't got the technicals, but we will do a phone out, won't we? We're going to ring our Dave, who's a regular. He's just a regular. He's just irregular. Irregular Dave. Sorry, I'm just making myself laugh.
Dave from Rubery.
Yeah, he is irregular. And what else are we going to be doing? Taking some questions. I've had some questions already come in on the email. If you do want to get in touch with us, it is all one word, thehappygardenpodcast@gmail.com. Thehappygardenpodcast@gmail.com. We're on Instagram as well. Again, The Happy Garden Podcast, all one squashed word. And Darren and I both have Facebook pages. Darren's has been going for years and he loves it. It's Darren Rudge at The Laughing Gardener. I've been dragged kicking and screaming onto social media a couple of weeks ago, and that is Molly Green at Facebook. If I don't reply, it's because I don't know how to. Okay.
Yeah, don't take it personally, folks.
Yeah, you'd be better doing
She's a
Darren,
real
really.
technophobe.
And I'm in charge of this operation.
You're in charge.
It's all right for you setting your pants on your sofa. Well, I've got so many.
How do you know? Where's the camera?
Oh, don't. I don't have any buttons in here. I'm surprised I haven't keeled over.
Now, Molly, we've
yes.
forgotten somebody. And we
Who's
really need to talk about Andy Lowndes.
Andy Lowndes! He's a massive, he will be a massive part of this show. We've brought him with us. He was with us on the BBC, and He's such a genius. We thought we've got to bring him to our podcast. Andy Land is an we're all award-winning on this show.
Oh, for course.
Darling. He is an award-winning, everything, author, historian. We're using him for the history on the podcast. Anything you'd like him to delve into, I'm sure he would do. But for today, he's going to be doing the history of the lawnmower.
Brilliant.
You love
Sounds
lawnmowers.
great.
We've always said that if we tied Darren up... Sorry, I don't know why we'd have to tie you up, but... No, but if we just blindfolded you, I don't know where the tying up bit came from. If we blindfolded Darren, there's really no need to tie you up at all. If we blindfolded you, I don't know what I was thinking then. But do you remember on You Bet with Matthew Kelly?
Yes.
On a Saturday night.
Moving on.
You Bet. So you could have been on that, and you would have been blindfolded, and there would have been 10 lawnmowers behind you.
Oh,
and somebody would have
told you.
pulled. They'd be like the pull start ones. Somebody would have pulled each one, and you could say exactly what lawnmower engine. You're that good with lawnmowers.
Definitely. Briggs and
Sadly.
Stratton, Tecumseh, Honda. You name it.
Then they'd have taken your blindfold off and untied you, and you'd have got them all right. Right. Anyway, so all that, and much, much more to come.
All of this and more still to come
Yeah.
on
The Happy Garden.
with Mark Green and Darren Rudge.
Oh, we'll have a right laugh. And we must talk about the Malvern Autumn Show as well, which is only in a couple of weeks' time. It's the 22nd to the 24th of September at the Malvern Showground, just by Worcestershire, in Malvern by Worcester. You can't come this year, can you, Darren? You're so busy with work.
Yeah, it's because I teach, you see, so that is my first teaching week. So I've got new students to welcome on board
Oh, nice.
to their RHS programmes. So
So you need to be there, really, don't you?
I really need to be there, yeah. But more importantly, you're going to go and see some of our horticultural friends, aren't you?
Yes, I'm going to represent the Happy Garden podcast. There is so much going on at the Malvern Autumn Show. We've got the RHS Flower Show, the Floral Marquee, the growers competing for gold medal awards from RHS judges, of which, by the way, you are one, aren't you, Darren? You are an RHS judge, but you're just too busy to do this particular show.
I am. It's good to turn a show down, isn't it? I'm sorry,
Oh, look
I'm
at
just
you.
too busy.
No, that's fine.
Just too busy.
We've got the British Pig Association awarding the Young Pig of the Year. I'll definitely get involved in that one. Darren and I always ordinarily go to the Canna UK National Giant Vegetable Championships. 110 competitors trying to grow the biggest, the best vegetable. Longest turnip broken last year, Darren, the record.
Go on, then.
4.6 metres
Wow.
for the longest snip.
Long, isn't it?
Heaviest field pumpkin, that's the one that always gets on the national news.
Wow.
Mark Baggs, who we know, 1.6 kilograms. Peter
Good Lord.
Glazebrook, we've spoken to him before as well. Heaviest aubergine, 3.362 kilograms.
Did I tell you that I grew some giant radish this year?
You didn't?
I didn't. I was given some seed by my friend Mick Poutney, who is the
I've heard of
Compost
him.
King.
Yeah.
Compost King. We must get him on
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah,
podcast.
we must.
Okay. And he gave me some a giant radish, and they're like snooker balls.
Now, do they taste
lovely.
nice or are they a bit woody?
They
What do they taste of?
They taste of radish, Molly.
I'll set it up, you kick it in.
Yeah, they taste no different. They're just big.
Yeah.
They fill your dinner plate.
How many have you got?
I did just a row. I
Yeah.
did just a single row. There was probably 10 in there, but they
Interesting.
came through, and it was really, really good. Yeah.
Well, if you weren't so busy, you could have entered them in the giant vegetable tent.
Good, but I'm just too busy.
Do you remember when you and I had a loofah off?
Yes, we do. I do.
Mm.
Yeah, that was a few years now. Now we can do things like that. Now we're podcasting, can't we?
Oh, loofah offs.
Yeah, we can do loofah offs and cucumber offs, and
Oh, yeah, because
Things
we
like
can get
that.
everybody else to be in the offs with
Yeah.
us
why not?
and sending pictures of their longest loofah and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
World's our oyster. Very
Grow
exciting.
potatoes in pots and things like that.
So all that going on at Malvern, as I say, it's the 22nd to the 24th of September, which is the Friday, the Saturday, the Sunday. If you can't go, if you're not in this part of the country, or if it's just too far for you to come for a show, as Darren said, I'll be the representative for us, and we'll be bringing you the sights, the smells, the sounds, introducing you to some amazing people who are there as well, and Eric Anderson's there, Nikki Chapman, Adam Frost, who's one of your good friends as well, Darren. So hopefully I'll grab lots of people. And Titters. Alan Titters.
Oh, yeah. Alan Titters.
He loves us.
He does?
Yeah, sure you do. So that's to come in a couple of weeks too.
Molly and Darren.
Do you know who we were? Dazzler, do you want to do some money-saving tips?
Yeah, let's do a money-saving tip, shall we?
Yes.
It's a standard feature so that we can save people a bit of cash.
We'll need that at the moment.
Now, live on the Happy Garden podcast, it's time for
Darren's money-saving tips.
Well, yes. Go!
Here we go, folks. Well, fungal diseases, especially at this time of year and in the spring, can devastate crops and plants. But no need to go out and buy those nasty chemical ones if you've got just some vinegar and some chamomile tea. It will help you fight any fungus that you'll come across. So, the vinegar fungicide recipe is really easy. Add 2 teaspoons of vinegar in a brewed chamomile tea and spray this on the affected plants in your garden. Most of all, it's safe and it's organic. Okay, there you go. That's our very first money-saving tip on podcast number 1.
Darren's money-saving tips.
Good. I enjoyed that. Thank you very much. We'll probably make that a very regular feature, won't we? Because we all do need to save money. Anything you want us to do, by the way, because we are new. We are new, full transparency. And so if there's some direction you would like us to take with the Happy Garden podcast... Oh, I actually had one on email just about an hour ago, Darren. Oh, what have I done with that?
All right.
What have I done with that? Hang on a second. It might be on my phone. 1 second. 1 second, please. Oh, here we are. Yes, from Denji. They said, Molly, I'm looking forward to the extra podcasts and extra features other than gardening. Chickens, ponds, etc. Can we have some wildlife too, please? Says Denji.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was an email just about an hour ago.
Definitely.
Yeah, so, wildlife. We ought to explain our ethos of gardening, hadn't we, Darren? And our ethos of living as well. It's very green. It's very wildlife orientated. It's very environmental. You've always been like that, haven't you?
Yeah.
Same as
yeah.
me.
And I mean, we've got to respect all the things around us. And, normally it's one species view, either, i.e. us, on the world around us, isn't it? And it can't be like that, folks. We are part of a big package, aren't we?
Chain, yeah. One of our good friends is Chris Bain, who started all of the wildlife trusts across the UK. I love Chris. I speak to him on a very, very regular basis. He was one of the first winners at Chelsea, wasn't he? He'd called it, I mean, this is back in the 70s, I think. He'd called it the wildlife garden. But the judges didn't get it. And they thought he'd misspelt it, and they thought it was a mess. And they had changed his plaque to the Wildfire Garden. I mean, gosh, roll on a few decades, and, he was very forward-thinking, same as King Charles had the same ethos all those decades ago.
But everything comes round in circles, doesn't it,
Yeah,
Molly?
yeah.
And I was talking to folks about garden history, people like William Robinson and Gertrude Jekyll. And William Robinson at the time, this is early 20th century, was vilified because he wanted natural gardens. And a Gravetime Manor, that's what he created. He created a natural garden, and he was absolutely vilified because people thought it was a mess. So it all comes round in a big circle eventually.
Yeah.
And where are we today? We're just trying to encourage wildlife, aren't we?
Oh, wholeheartedly, yeah. So Denji absolutely will be doing lots of features on wildlife. And Dazzler, you were at my house last week. I mean,
I was.
I mean, it's wild.
It was fun.
It's wild. No, I mean the garden.
I've got a bone to pick with you.
It has been mown since. Yes.
I left my coffee there.
You did. You left something else as well. What else did you leave?
What was that?
You definitely left 2 things. One was your pot of coffee, which you travel with.
Yeah.
God, I love you, Darren.
What was the other thing?
I can't remember. I don't know. I'll remember.
You've sold it, obviously, haven't you?
I've hocked it down the NEC. No, I can't remember.
Sold it, didn't you? Hope you got a good price.
I bought a burner phone with it. I'll find it. I'll remember and I'll find it. I'm sure it's fine. I tell you what, I have forgotten.
What's that?
Talking about being forgetful. To trail ahead in just a few minutes' time, because you've just mentioned the word history and you've reminded me. Andy Lowndes.
Of course, yeah.
You forgot about him.
Andy's joining us.
Yes, he is.
Sorry, Andy.
Sorry, Andy.
He'll be listening in. Sorry, Andy.
Andy Lowndes, for those that don't know him, again, he's a massively brilliant and good and wonderful friend of ours, long-time friend. Andy Lowndes, you may have seen him on, he's on GB News, he's on national telly radio all the time. He's an award-winning... We're all award-winning here. He's an award-winning actor. He's an author. Mainly we use him because he's the most amazing historian. You literally chuck any word at Andy and he will give you spiel about its history. And so today, in just a few minutes' time, he's doing the history of the lawnmower. And again, it's your show, so anything you want the history of, horticulturally speaking, get in touch on the Happy Garden Podcast at gmail.com. Hang on a second, let me just write that down. Okay, and also there's a couple of other ways as well.
What was the email again?
Well, I'm just thinking, is it the happygarden at gmail.com or is it the Happy Garden Podcast? But I'm fairly certain it's podcast at gmail.com. But also you and I are on Facebook.
We are.
Molly Green, I've dragged myself into the into this century. Molly Green on Facebook, and you're Darren Rudge on Facebook.
Laughing Gardener, yeah.
Oh, is it Darren Rudge Laughing Gardener on Facebook?
Yeah, you can get me both ways.
Okay. Because he laughs a lot, does laugh. Insanely. So, some may say. And also, we've got an Instagram, which is exciting as well.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is the Happy Garden Podcast. On Instagram. Sure? I think so. I spent a whole day on social media a couple of weeks ago in tears trying to... Oh, but that reminds me. Now, I've got Instagram and Facebook working. I had an email... Sorry, we'll get on with the gardening in a second. I had an email from Twitter this morning to say I've been unblocked. They've reinstated me.
Did it hurt?
I was...
Sorry.
Didn't even notice until they emailed me. They said I was exhibiting the behaviour of a bot.
Well, they got you down to a T, haven't they?
They deemed me suspicious and they stopped the account. So there's no Twitter. I still don't get it. You've got a Twitter, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got a Twitter.
What's yours?
Account. I can't remember. It's Laughing Gardener again, everything.
Darren.
At Laughing Gardener.
At Laughing Gardener, okay.
Don't put me on the spot.
So those are all the ways to get to us. We think.
Just get in touch.
Talking of which, I've already had an email in from Dave. Now, as I say, this isn't a phone in for the time being; it's a phone out. So, shall we try and ring Dave? Because I know.
Yeah, let's try and get Dave. Dave's in Rubery, isn't he?
Yeah. Hang on. If I press. Oh, is that you, me?
That's
found
I
you.
am at home, folks.
They found you.
And I live in an urban environment.
What room are you in?
I'm in the living room. I'm staring at the mantelpiece. I've got the
Ah.
2 dogs with me.
Are you dressed?
I'm yes.
Well, we ought to say we're recording this on the 7th of September, and it is 29:30 outside.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's quite warm.
There's not many stitches on. Right, let's try Dave. I don't know if this will work. Oh,
Oh,
I think it is working.
oh, it's ringing.
It's ringing.
It's ringing.
Hello.
All right, Dave.
Hello.
All right, Dave.
Hello.
Oh wait, you sound really strange. Can you hear me? All right, Dave. You sound like you're a demon. What's going on here?
Hang on.
Does Dave sound like a demon to you?
It
Darren?
does, yeah. Sounds like the devil
Is that
incarnate.
better?
Hang on.
Is that better?
Well, you still sound a bit
Put your
demonic.
phones in. Do you want me to ring you back and try if I ring this number?
Yeah, you ring me back because it sounds demented. Call me back, Dave.
So I know it's your new podcast, but now I'm paying the bloody phone bill.
It should be
No,
free
it's
if
all right,
it's
I'll
in your
ring-
package. All right, ring me back.
I'm joking. I'm only playing. Right, 2 seconds.
All right. Let's put the phone down. He sounded a bit.
He sounded like the devil.
He did, didn't he?
It's like, I've come to take you, Molly.
I love all this technology. I love getting my head around all this, Darren. In middle age, it's It's quite a thing, isn't it? To be
You'll
starting
get
something
used to it.
new. Yeah, well,
Like
yeah.
riding a bike.
Is it? Oh,
Sure,
yeah.
it's not a sex pest.
Oh, he's ringing us back, Dazzler. Hang on.
Answer the phone, Molly.
Answer the phone. Dave? Dave? It's not working.
It's not there.
Not there, is it? Dave, I'm going to try him again. Hang on. What's that strange noise? Dave?
Hello, can you know? I could hear Darren going.
Dave, if you could hear how you sound this end, but I don't know why. Oh, this is really funny.
Oh, well,
Dave, why do you sound like that?
I'm talking normally.
I don't know, Dave. How embarrassed would you be on an international podcast sounding like a sex pest or Beelzebub? I mean, should we just carry on? Or?
Well, we'll just come because that's me normal day to life.
I don't know how to get the demon off your voice.
Just ring from whatever number
Yeah.
I've done.
All right. Yeah. Calling you now.
No worries. All right.
Okay. Bye.
All right,
Bye. Oh, that's a shame. Right. Connected. Connected. Right. I'm gonna try him off my phone. Let's just hope he's not mad. Okay. Here we are. Let's try him. Okay. He's ringing. Okay.
All right, Mum.
Oh. All right, Dave. That's better.
All right, Mum.
All right, Dave. We've got you. That's better.
You got it. We've done it.
Well, the thing is, I've had to ring you off my own phone. A, I hope you're not a mad person that's going to ring me at 2 a.m. And B, the man in the shop has sold me a dud burner phone that doesn't work.
Well, I only kept the receipt, and no, I won't be a mad person that rings you at 2 o'clock in the morning, because if I do ring you at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'll probably just tell you how much I love you.
Oh.
That's very sweet. Oh, it's lovely to have you on.
No, thank you. And no, first of all, thank you for allowing me to be the first caller on the podcast, because it's going to mean the world to people. And for you, Molly, you are an amazing broadcaster, and it's going to be a privilege following you on your journey on your podcast. And for you, Darren, a couple of weeks ago, and I truly mean this, you are like the block switch at Edinburgh. The way you deliver information for someone that hasn't even got a garden. And now I want to learn from how you describe and deliver your information.
Oh, thanks, Dave. That's brilliant. Thank you.
And I do truly mean that, mate. I truly mean that.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah, but I mean it. I'm not just going to say it because I'm the first caller on the podcast, but it's truth. You are an amazing broadcaster, and Darren has got so much knowledge to give where other people would charge or couldn't be bothered to do it. But Darren's doing it, so credit to you both of you.
Out of the kindness of his own heart.
I know.
Oh, that's lovely.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks.
No, it's just credit where credit's due.
That's really lovely of you. And what can we help you with? Have you got a gardening question?
So, Darren, my daughter's got a project about medieval times, and she has to choose an aspect of it. So we've chose food and vegetation. I'm going to help her on the cooking. So I need to find some plants that are around now that would have been around the medieval time, apart from grass and trees. That you could study.
Well, medieval times was all about food, as you know, Dave, and medicinal things. So, you can look at the really traditional things that have been in our history, things like wheat, oats, rye, peas, carrots, and all the herbs. So you can pick any of the herbs. They would have been around in medieval times. But if she's got to grow something, the really easy thing for her to grow would be a bean. And just to select something like a broad bean and get her to grow that and take it into school. And hopefully that helps her with her project.
Okay, but can I grow that on a windowsill?
Yeah, of course you can, yeah. All you need is you need just a sunny windowsill, a pot, some compost, and then get yourself a packet of beans and basically twice the depth of the actual bean. So it needs to go into the compost, twice the depth, give it a little bit of water, and that will actually germinate for you within sort of 5 to 10 days.
Okay, thank you. No, because I could do the food with that. Like, we've got to find a recipe. But when it came to a plant from the medieval times, I didn't want to just to go on Uncle Google. I wanted just to speak to Darren, obviously me speaking, but something that she can properly learn about and study now. And that will be the main part of her project. And when she's completed it, I'll send it over to you.
Yeah, nice. Please do. Get her to look at the herbs as well, because herbs for medicinal values. She'll learn so much from just looking at herbs like lavender and tarragon and all those sorts of things. Absolutely wonderful stuff for a young. How old's your daughter, Dave?
She's 10.
She's 10, so it's a brilliant age, isn't it, to be learning this stuff? And she'll learn all that stuff. Fabulous. Brilliant stuff.
But she'll get that bit of information by listening to this podcast from you. But also, I can help her with the food stuff because, I could do I've learned a few recipes that I've been researching. But when it comes to the clever stuff of plants and nature, like I said, the block switcher at Edinburgh.
Oh, that's nice. And I take it that future Ella will be listening to this then. Hi, future Ella.
No, she will be, because I said that Daddy was speaking to Molly and Darren today.
Nice. Oh, David, thank you so much for being our first person on the Happy Garden podcast.
No, thank you for having me. And everything I've said be reiterated for all the other people to come on your podcast, because you two are wicked.
Oh, that's great. Thanks, you, Dave.
Thank you,
All
Dave.
Right, you two take care of yourself.
You too. Ta-ra,
Take care.
Ta-ra,
Bye.
Ta-ra, ta-ra. Oh, Darren.
Oh, it's brilliant.
That's nice, isn't it?
Nice guy.
Dave's ace.
And this is what we need to do, Mal. We need to get younger people involved. Now, if you're listening in the USA, folks, Bloxwich is a town in Walsall, in the West Midlands.
In the Black Country.
In the Black Country. And that's where my accent comes from.
Yeah.
So that's where I live.
And I'm a Brummie, but I only talk Brummie when I'm in Brum for some reason. So, ish. So, yeah, we're West Midlanders. Two things. Yeah, getting kids involved. You are more than welcome to get involved if you've got little ones, grandkids, and, tell us about their projects and what they're doing at school and stuff like that. And also, of course, we want to build this community. Be like Dave. Be more Dave. And if you get in touch, as I say, it's not phone in, it's more of a phone out. Well, I mean, that was a poor attempt at a phone out, wasn't it, Darren? It took 2 phones and 10 minutes.
Your phone is demonised.
The burner phone is haunted.
Phone is haunted. Wants people's souls.
Oh dear! I mean, that was just appalling. I did an update before we came on as well. Like what do you call it? An update. I think that's what you call it, isn't it? So, I don't know what else I can do. Oh well. Anyway, if you want to get in touch and be part of our community, that would be smashing. Molly Green on Facebook or Darren Rudge Laughing Gardener on Facebook as well. You can leave us messages there as well, and Instagram, the Happy Garden Podcast on Instagram. Right then, our Dazzler, shall we get Andy Lound on?
Yeah, let's get Andy on.
Okay. Amaze and Astound with Andy Lound, award-winning author, historian, and again, handing this over to you, anything that you would like Andy to delve into the history of, horticulturally speaking, whether it be a plant or a tool or anything like that, we can get him to do that for us as well. But for today, it's the history of the lawnmower.
It's Amaze and Astound with Andy Lound. That's me. Hello, Molly and Darren. Today's potted history will look at lawnmowers. I had my hair cut the other day at a traditional barber shop, and afterwards, the barber asked me if I wanted something for the weekend. So I said yes, and he gave me a lawnmower. I got into thinking, who invented the lawnmower? Grass has traditionally been cut with a scythe, and it was not until 1830 that a machine was used. It was invented by Edwin Beard Budding of Stroud, Gloucestershire. Budding's mower was designed primarily to cut the grass on sports grounds and extensive gardens. His first machine was 19 inches wide with a frame made of wrought iron. The mower was pushed from behind. Cast iron gear wheels transmitted power from the gear roller to the cutting cylinder, allowing the rear roller to drive the knives on the cutting cylinder. The ratio was 16:1. Another roller, placed between the cutting cylinder and the main or land roller, could be raised or lowered to alter the height of the cut. The grass clippings were hurled forward into a tray-like box. Two of the earliest budding machines were sold to Regent's Park Zoological Gardens in London and the Oxford Colleges. In an agreement between John Ferriby and Edwin Budding dating May the 18th, 1830, Ferriby paid the costs of enlarging the small blades, obtaining letters of patent, and acquired the rights to manufacture, sell, and license other manufacturers in the production of lawnmowers. His machine was the catalyst for the preparation of modern-style sporting ovals, playing fields, grass courts, etc. This led to the codification of modern rules for many sports, including football, lawn bowls, lawn tennis and others. It did not catch on quickly in many football grounds, as clubs such as Notts County use sheep to cut the pitch. It took 10 more years and further innovations to create a machine that could be drawn by animals, and 60 years before a steam-powered lawnmower was built. The first grass boxes were simple trays, but took their present shape in the 1860s. James Sumner of Lancashire patented the first steam-powered lawnmower in 1893. Numerous manufacturers entered the field with petrol-engined power motors. The first was in 1902 by Ransomes. JP Engineering of Leicester produced the first riding mowers. Rotary mowers were not developed until engines were small enough and powerful enough to run the blades at sufficient speed. And one company that produced rotary mowers commercially was the Australian Victor Company, starting in 1952. Its mowers were lighter and easier to use than similar ones that had come before. The Victor mower is regarded as something of an Australian icon, appearing en masse in simulated form at the opening of the Sydney Olympic Games in 2000. The hover mower, first introduced by Flymo in 1964, is a form of rotary mower using an air cushion and the hovercraft principle. The British have adapted the mower as a racing machine, and lawnmower races are held across the country. The introduction of artificial grass reduces the need for a mower, but instead a vacuum cleaner. Me? Well, I always feed my lawn whiskey, so it comes up half cut.
Oh, good old Andy Lowndes.
So, Molly and Darren,
Yes?
more from the potting shed next time.
Oh, that's lovely. He's good, isn't he?
Oh, he's brilliant, isn't he,
He's
Andy
good,
Lowndes?
Andy Lowndes.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Encyclopedic knowledge.
He is. It's frightening, actually. Award-winning everything. Award-winning author, actor, presentator. Yeah.
Presenter.
Well, if there was a presentator, he'd ever won an award for that. Dear, oh my God. Oh, let's start that bit again. Award-winning author, award-winning actor, award-winning historian. Darren, we're all award winners on the show, aren't we?
Oh, of course. But of course, we
course.
don't work with anyone that's not an award winner, darling.
Multi-award winning, you called yourself earlier on. And of course, just to reiterate, about a month ago, I won the award for the best 3 brown eggs at the Forlongley show. I don't think I told you, I opened my brown envelope. I got £3.50.
Wow,
I know.
it's all right.
So-
But you
it's
win
all
that
right.
award every year, Mark.
Yeah, I know. Well, I say me.
you've
I
won that
didn't
for
lay
about
them.
25 years.
Yeah, I know. How old
sure
do you
it's
think
the
I
same
am? Yeah. Still to come on the Happy Garden podcast, we will be doing, well, I say we, Darren will be doing jokes, gardening jokes of the week, which is always the highlight. How many have we got today?
Well, there's 5. There's one that's a bit naughty. Because I thought now we're not on the, the beat.
The BBC.
Might do
Oh,
it.
God, how naughty.
Slightly. Oh, it's only slightly naughty.
The thing is that when you're uploading podcasts, as I'm learning, because I had to upload our trailer, there is an actual box that says, do you swear? Is this explicit?
Oh, no,
podcast?
it's not swearing.
Are you sure it's not explicit?
It's not explicit.
It's
no.
not explicit. It's a
No.
non-explicit garden joke.
Well, when you hear the joke, you can tell me.
All right. So 5 gardening jokes for the week ahead. It is. I think it's the peak. Hence, we've saved it till last. Just in case.
No stress.
Lure them
No
to the
stress.
end. And Swat or Not to come very shortly as well, which is our new feature. Swat or Not, obviously, we're going to vote not. But any creepy crawlers that you want us to investigate, we can do. What are you doing today? The slug?
The slug.
Okay.
And convince you that they're good.
They are.
Slugs are good.
Absolutely are. Right, questions. Let's just do a couple of questions. Where's my glasses? They're on your head. They actually are on my head. That's embarrassing, Mrs. Richards. Right, my glasses. Let's do a couple of questions. Again, if you get in touch with the Happy Garden Podcast at gmail.com or Molly Green or Darren Rudge on Facebook, you can drop us some questions. Let's start with Marie. It says, Molly, Darren, I've got a mixed hedge, brackets including a lilac tree, an elder, an ivy and lots of bramble/blackberries. It's been neglected and it's spread, reducing the width of the garden. From a wildlife point of view, when is a good time to attempt to cut it back? We have a lot of house sparrows who I think take shelter there. I don't want to cut it back at the end of summer and deprive the birds, the butterflies and the insects of the blackberries. Oh, we love you, Marie. And it also gives shelter in the coldest month, so I don't want to disturb any nests there, if there are any there later. What time of year? That was Marie. What a lovely question.
So what you're going to have to do here, Marie, is just investigate the hedge. So, law states in this country anyway that you can cut up to a nest around about 1.5 meters away from that actual nest. As long as you're not actually disturbing the birds and not using machinery, then you can actually maintain the hedge. So you're really going to have to investigate the hedge, see what's there, because you are going to disturb a little bit of wildlife whatever time of year you actually decide to do this. I would do it through the winter months if we could, because most of the deciduous stuff will have their leaves off. You can see the framework and the structure of the hedge and then really get into it. And yes, you will disturb some things. Ultimately, whatever time of year you decide to do it, you're going to disturb some things. But actually, during the winter months, you can see into it. You can then maintain it and basically get it done and dusted. And then you can leave it then for 5 or 6 years before you actually maintain it again. I hope that helps, Marie. So there you go. That's what I would do anyway.
That's good. And Marie, thank you. Thank you for being so environmentally responsible and such a lovely lady. That's really nice. Really nice. Let's do one here from Peter, who says, Moles, Daz, love listening to you both. Thank you, Peter.
Thanks, Peter.
Can you help with our aster? It hasn't flowered for 2 years now. And this year, the leaves are covered in white stuff. Thank you.
Yeah, that is a mildew, and asters suffer from mildew. So there's not a lot you can do about the mildew problem apart from growing mildew-resistant plants. And I don't think you're going to get rid of this from your aster. But how old is your aster? Because if it's more than 4 or 5 years old, you need to divide it, throw away the core, or I say throw away. You can compost the core and basically replant your aster. But the mildew will basically be there, I'm afraid. You can basically buy or get mildew-resistant varieties now. So it may be time just to think about that and just replacing it for mildew-resistant varieties. Thanks,
Peter. Dazzler, what's this year been like for like fungi and stuff? I mean, it's been a wet summer.
It's been a good year for fungal diseases and things like that because, as you say, it's been warm, it's been humid, and it's been wet. And they love it. They love humid conditions, fungal diseases. They love wet conditions because the spores just travel, using the water, the rain, whatever. It's been a really good year for fungal diseases, or in our terms, it's been a bad year for fungal diseases.
As far as weather goes, obviously people could be listening to this podcast at any time of the year, but we're recording this on the 7th of September. Looking outside, it's hazy, it's so hot. We're nigh on 30 degrees, have been for a few days, will be for a few days. What's this going to mean for the garden? Because it's not that things were dying down last week, but our heating came on and I almost stuck the fire on it and the leaves were falling. It was autumnal, say 7 to 10 days ago. Heat wave now. Is that going to mean anything?
Well, plants just get confused, don't they? They think they're going into the autumn months and then all of a sudden we have a mini summer, don't we? But, they'll cope. There's not a lot we can do for them. Be mindful of the watering, be mindful of water, let alone the watering, and just look after your plants. Just hoe through, if you can do, just to break that surface so that any water that you do actually put down actually percolates into the soil and gets to the root system of the plants. Because during dry weather, the soil soil can just cap off. It just caps, and any water you pop down, it just cascades off the surface, really. So if you're really worried and you get a really scorching day, then patio pots and things like that, you can damp down sheets and just throw a sheet over the actual plants
that's a good idea.
themselves. It just cools them down, it cools them off, and it just gives them water and obviously gives protection. You can put up shading as well, of course. So again, a good old bed sheet, you can provide shading for plants, but don't worry too much. If leaves go brown, don't take them off, because they act as a shield for younger and more delicate leaves underneath. Plants will cope, and they're starting to adjust to the new climate change temperatures and the seasons, if we still have them, that we have now. We've got this new challenge to actually be dealing with.
I've quite enjoyed the last few days having... Oh, excuse me, my leg's gone to sleep. I've quite enjoyed these, the last few days, going outside. It takes an hour, but an hour outside with the hose, doing everything, the greenhouse and all the pots and stuff. As you say, you can't just sort of sprinkle them. You've got to give everything a good soak. But it's really nice. So the heat of the evening, and it's like a cathartic hour alone with your thoughts and a hose. I quite like it.
Definitely, and I think that's the important point to mention here, Molly, is, if you're going to water, it's a precious commodity.
Yeah.
Water either early in the morning before the sun's up or last thing at night. Now, I was at a talk last night, because I do garden talks, folks, and I came...
you?
I do. Do you?
Wait, hang on. Here's one from the other night. Wait, here we go. The Happy Garden Podcast. Hey! Who was that? Which village hall was that?
That was the Cottage Garden Society in Warwickshire.
Nice.
That's who that was. They're brilliant folks. Absolutely lovely. Yeah.
Where were you last night?
I'm just trying to think now. Where was I last night?
Stonehall, was it?
It was Stonehall, yes. How did you know? It's Stonehall Gardeners Guild.
I was there at the back. Not really.
Stonehall Gardeners Guild, that's what it was. Well, I came in at about 10 o'clock, 10:30, and I took the dog for a walk.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did, yeah. We spent an hour just walking.
Oh, that's
It was
nice.
brilliant. It's lovely.
That's nice.
Such a lovely evening. And then I came back and watered the plants.
Oh, gosh, you were up late.
I was.
Now, look, what have we got left of this first podcast of ours? We've done that. We've done Dave. Well, sort of.
Andy's been and gone.
Loosely done Dave. Andy's been and gone. We've done your money-saving tips.
Swat or not.
Oh, that we need to do SWAT or not, don't we?
Yeah, of course we do.
All right, then let's press this and do SWAT or not.
Now in the Happy Garden.
What is it?
Is it a bee
SWAT!
or not?
I vote not.
I love that. Is it a bee? That's from AbFab. Love it. Right, Slugs, go.
Okay, so this is a feature in the show where we're going to convince you not to swat, folks. And we're going to talk about slugs today, as Molly said. So slugs and snails are very important for our gardens. They provide food for all sorts of mammals, birds, slow worms, earthworms, insects, and they're part of the natural balance in our garden, folks. If we upset that balance by removing them, then we can do a lot of harm. Thrushes in particular thrive on slugs. Their main job in our gardens is to recycle, and here's the word of the podcast, detritus.
Nice.
I love the word detritus. Okay, they're excellent at doing this, and more than 85% of slugs live underground, and we never ever see them. So the ones we complain about are only sort of like 15% of them. Right, here's some more really weird facts. And a member of the gastropod family, and gastropod roughly translates to stomach foot, so they have a foot in their stomach, okay? And it's a single foot, and they can only move by emitting slime on a bed of slime. Slugs' blood is green, and they live for around about 6 years, but their eggs can actually hibernate for much longer. But they do eat decomposting vegetation. So are important ecologically. Indeed, some go further, as reported in the early spring of 2012, when Mr. Dr. Ian Bedford, head of entomology at the John Innes Centre in Norwich, noticed an unusually high population of slugs in his garden, and he observed them eating plants, as they do, but other things such as dog excrement and dead animals. Around about 650 billion slug pellets are used every year to combat slugs. These enter the food chain and are dangerous to other wildlife, folks, for example hedgehogs, so stop using them. They are no longer considered as a pest. They're taken off the pest register because of their ecological value. So we need to learn to live with them and not fight against them, folks. So to swat or not the slug, no, let's live with them.
I vote not. Like it, Darren, like it. Any idea what we're going to do on the next podcast?
This is bouncy.
It's
Dunno.
nice, isn't it?
Perhaps somebody would like to suggest.
Well, that segues quite nicely for me to give all of the ways to get in touch out again. Now, we think these are the ways. We think that no, they are. The Happy Garden Podcast at gmail.com if you want to get in touch on the email. That's probably the easiest way because you can put your thoughts on there. Good thoughts, obviously. Suggestions of what you'd like Andy to do, what you'd like Darren to do, what you'd like this podcast to discuss. And as we said in our last little trailer, it hasn't got to be gardening, has it, Darren? I mean, you're the expert in gardening, but we do want to talk about the wider garden, don't we?
Anything to do with gardens, the wider garden, like you say. Yeah, anything. So, what type of barbecue you got?
Yeah, eating in the garden, parties
Eating
in the garden.
Yeah, anything. You know, do you fancy, sort of a pool or a pond, or how about a dipping pond? Do you know what I mean? Where you just sort of dip in and just lie there, and it's just cold. What, anything.
A dipping pond? I didn't even know such things existed.
The more controversial, the better. I think we provoke some discussion that way, don't we?
That's the way we like it. I am a bit of a chicken fiend, so we're definitely going to be doing chickens, aren't we, at some point?
I've got a chicken joke.
Oh, shall we get on to the jokes then?
Yeah, let's get on to the jokes.
Okay, here we go.
Now in the Happy Garden.
It's about time for some Alan Titters. Brace yourself for your gardening jokes of the week from Darren Rudge.
Brace yourself, Darren.
Right.
How many we've got? 4 and a bow now, or just 5?
Yeah.
5.
There's
4.
5.
5. All right.
No bonus this week.
Okay.
Hold on, it's only the first podcast.
Okay, don't want to
Are
peek.
you ready? You ready for this?
Yeah.
I'm building up the suspense, folks. What's a chicken's favourite training shoe?
Oh, I don't know.
Reebok.
Yes! What?
Why? Why was the snail feeling a little sluggish?
Oh, I can see the link, but I don't know.
He just got divorced and she'd taken the house.
Say it again.
Why was the snail with a shell on its back
Yeah.
feeling a little sluggish?
Why?
Because he'd just got divorced and his wife had
taken the house.
Oh,
Good. They get it out. Good too.
She gets there eventually, folks. What was Michael Jackson's favourite activity to do when he was on holiday in the Alps?
Oh, I don't know.
Ski!
Is that a gardening joke? 3.
No, not really. But it's about the outdoors.
Do it again. Just a punchline.
Ski!
We like that. Number 4.
Number 4. How many moths does it take to change a light bulb?
Don't know.
Don't be silly. Moths can't change a light bulb.
All right, 4, 5.
And
4,
finally,
4.
this is the semi-rude one.
Yeah.
How do you get a squirrel out of a tree?
I don't know.
Pull your pants down and show him your nuts.
Oh, Darren, we couldn't have got away with that one on the BBC. Oh, actually, no, I tell a lie. I think you did. Didn't you say that once? Did you?
Probably.
Yeah, I think you did. Good. Oh, I like the Alan Titters for this week. That's nice. And again, anyone else got any Alan Titters that they want to share?
Yeah, share your jokes, folks.
Be more than welcome.
It's all right, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I'd give out the burner phone number for people to leave voice messages on, but I'm hesitant now after what's
It's
happened.
just looking for people's souls, Molly. The more people that phone in, the more souls
Oh,
it
hang on,
collects.
Wait. Here you are. Hang on.
Come and join our club.
It's the burner phone, folks. Don't phone the number.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, I've enjoyed that. I think, is that it? Are we done?
Well, I've got some jobs if you want some.
Yeah, we can do some jobs, Darren. Jobs for the week ahead.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, well, just a selection there.
Okay.
Just a little soup song.
Saucisson.
The
Tentempié.
things you can be up to. You know, roses, flowering time is almost over, so keep deadheading. That's the big thing. And you can start to think about cutting them back. So if you do cut them back, just drop a little bit of fertiliser down. But, you know, it is the 7th of September, folks. It's scorching hot across the country. Leave all this until the weather has actually cooled down. Evergreens can be lifted in late September as well. So if you need to move things around, it's a really good time to be thinking about that. So over the next couple of podcasts, I'm going to be recommending this as well. So if you've got plants in the wrong place, you might want to lift them and basically just move them out the way. And it's a good time to do all that sort of stuff. It's controlling grass weeds as well. So as well as autumn weed and feed, you can be popping down. Hanging baskets can be kept going with a little bit more liquid feeding, and patio pots. And you can start to think about sowing hardy annual seed, so you get a nice little wildflower sort of display going. And then to finally finish off for jobs for this week, basically don't forget your spring bulbs are out there, and it is spring bulb planting time.
Is
and
it?
As a rule, it is, yeah. So your daffs, your tulips, your crocuses, your snowdrops, all those sorts of things, they're all in the garden centres. And as a rule of thumb, don't forget, folks, 2.5 times the actual depth of the bulb. That's how far you need to go down. There you go.
And
jobs for the week.
If you do buy bulbs, don't do what I do with bulbs. Put them in a brown paper bag.
And forget them.
Forget about them till, 2 years' time? Maybe 3? Yeah. And you find them somewhere. Dazzler Pants, I think that's it, you know.
Yeah, I think we're done, aren't we?
Yeah.
Podcast number 1, done.
Almost done, yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, we've got, you know, full disclosure, it's the first one. There was a few hiccups. I mean, it can only get better, can't it?
Of course it can.
Can't it?
Of course it can.
Can't it?
Of course it can.
Of course it will. Yeah, that's great. We'll finish again by giving you all the ways to get in touch. On Instagram, we're the Happy Garden Podcast. It's all sort of one word squashed together, if that's the technical term. No spaces. The Happy Garden Podcast. Or you could email at thehappygardenpodcast@gmail.com. Again, squashed together. thehappygardenpodcast@gmail.com. Is that how you say it, all squashed together?
Tis now.
Tis now. Darren Rudge, the Laughing Gardener, is on Facebook, and I'm Molly Green. Molly with an I-E. Oh, Darren sings a song about that, but I haven't got it to hand. Unless you want to do it live, Darren. How'd you spell my name?
We can do it live, can't we?
Go on,
Are
then.
you ready?
Yeah.
Are we still recording?
You're dragging me into it.
Well, it's Molly, Molly. It's with an I-N-D. Molly, Molly, or it won't get to me.
Molly, Molly, it's
with an I-N-D. That's terrible.
Terrible finish to the podcast. Like, really embarrassing. But hey, it's honest. Right then, let's finish with who was this doing all the clapping in the village hall?
But it was the Warwickshire Cottage Garden Society.
Oh, okay. They can have the final word. Dazzler, thank you. We'll see you next week.
See you next week, folks. Bye.
Happy